So let's take a look at how limits are related to vertical asymptotes. So suppose I have a function like this that's like x plus 3 over x minus 1. Now, what did we do in pre-calculus? What you learned was a rule that if for vertical asymptotes, if you didn't learn this or not, is when the denominator equals 0. So in this case, that's x equal to 1. But with limits now, I want you to understand what does it mean to be a vertical asymptote. Like if I were to sketch this graph at 1, there's a vertical asymptote. And what's going to happen is it's going to like look something like this. It doesn't have to be exactly like exactly right, but just like it's going to do roughly something like that. And so what we want to talk about, this is 1 right here. So this is this vertical asymptote. And we want to talk about it from a limit point of view. What does it mean to have a vertical asymptote? So in this case, what we're talking about is, look at what happens. A vertical asymptote, one of the features is from one side, one or the other, or both, it approaches either negative or positive infinity. So let's take a look at this one. If I take the limit as x approaches 1 from the left of x plus 3 over x minus 1, what's going to happen is I'm going to plug in 1. I'm going to get 4 over 0, and 4 over 0 is like undefined. But you got to remember, this is not really 0, right? It's a number very close to 0. Right? It's like a number that's like very, because I'm approaching 1 from the left. That means I'm doing like 0.99, 0.999. I'm plugging in a number for x that's very close to 1, but slightly less than 1. So you want to think of this as 4 divided by a tiny number. That's how I think of that. It's a tiny, tiny number. Now, 4 divided by a tiny number is some kind of big number, but the question is whether it's positive or negative big. Right? So if I'm approaching 1 from the left, okay, this is going to be a tiny negative number. Like if I put in 0.99, it's going to be 0.99 minus 1 is negative 0.01. So it's going to be divided by a tiny negative number. That's going to make a positive number divided by that is going to make that positive infinity. Right? And the same, and then, but if we look at it from 1 from the right, right? This is going to be 4 over a tiny number again, but it's a tiny positive number, and 4 divided by a tiny positive number is a giant positive infinity. Oh, I'm sorry. This one would be negative infinity. Sorry. I said this backwards. Because this one is, I'm dividing a positive number divided by a tiny negative number. I would get negative infinity there. And here I'm taking a 4 divided by a tiny positive number, because I'm doing like 1.01, 1.001, a number very close to 1, but greater than 1. And so when I divide that, I get positive infinity. And so if you get those in your limit, then you have a vertical asymptote. Okay? So that's how we use the limits, or that's why it's when the denominator is 0, is because as you approach that value with a limit, and the denominator is approaching 0, it's going to be some kind of something over a tiny number, which is going to be infinite. Right? And so that's how we show vertical asymptotes by using limits. It's like they're going to approach some kind of infinity there. Thanks for checking out this video. I hope you found it really helpful. If you'd like more support, maybe you need more multiple choice practice, maybe you just need more guidance and things like that, I have plenty of information on my website. If you look in the description below and go to www.bothellstemcoach.com, I will explain all the ways I help students be successful in their AP classes.